Hey, how you doing? Thanks for meeting me out here. Go get it, baby. Today I want to talk about all the things that you need to do to make sure your dog does not end up in a shelter. Not because of anything major, it's the little things that we as humans don't do to provide our dogs the necessary things to keep them happy and well bound. So today I want you to tag along with me. We're going to talk about all the little things, the simple things that you can do right now to improve your relationship with your dog and make sure you never ever come to that decision to give him up. Our first stop is right over here, so why don't you join us? Let's go. Come on. Here we are at the Brookdale Park Dog Park in Bloomfield, New Jersey. This is where I like to come to really see exercise in action. What happens is every morning your dog wakes up, boom, with energy. And it's right here. If you got to go to work, can't shelve it. If it's raining, can't forget about it. Either way, that energy is going to come out, either constructively or destructively. Those are the only two options. So it's important that we give creative outlets to release that energy. One of the best ways that I can think of is two dogs interacting. Nothing can replicate that kind of energy. These guys going crazy, wrestling up and down, really high impact, gotta get their heart pumping. A little walk may be okay for a bathroom break, but not for exercise. Fetch, great. If you can tire your dog out by playing fetch, but it's got to be pretty. If you have a young puppy, it's got to be a little bit more than 5 minutes. Basically, as a rule, any more than 0 is good. The more, the better. Odds are you're going to drop way before your dog does. Obviously, if you have an older dog or it's 120 degrees out, we have to be careful. But under normal circumstances, a day like today, a young dog can pretty much go all day. So the more you can exercise your dog, the less behavioral problems you're going to have, because any behavior problem is greatly influenced by energy release. I would say about 50% of the sessions that I get called in on could simply be over by me saying, hey, exercise your dog more, I'll see you later. Sometimes it is that simple, and it's a very powerful tool, and no matter what the behavior problem, it is always part of my solution or part of my treatment plan. So exercise is always a good thing to do. We grossly underestimate the exercise needs of our dogs. So with doing nothing else, just giving your dog more exercise, you're going to see a more well-behaved dog. So how's Maggie doing?
She's doing great. She's doing really good. She loves her visits here to the doggy park. It's like you said, all her energy. She releases it in a healthy way. She's sometimes even snoring on the way home. That's how exhausted. Well, she always finds a match. It seems like she hooks up with somebody.
Typically, they're going to be drawn towards their energy level, which is, what breed is Maggie?
She's a German short-haired pointer.
Okay, it's the German short-haired pointer that used to be white, that now looks black around this muddy dog park. How old?
She's 7 months.
7 months old, so a puppy. So an energy like that, this is the kind of energy outlet she needs, and if we don't give it to her,
oh no, I totally...
What's your life like if the days you don't come here?
Then you're going to be hollering at her all day because she's like, energy. She'll even shake. You'll think like, oh my goodness, is she cold? But it's just that energy. She has to get out like a kid, and this is a perfect place. And you don't even have to stay long.
And I say, do you exercise your dogs? And they say, oh yeah, we go for, 3 5-minute walks around the block a day. And I just look, that is not exercise for a dog like Maggie over there. This running, sprinting, and nothing can replicate 2 dogs playing. You have a 13-year-old English bulldog, maybe that might be enough, going those little jaunts around the block, but not a 7-month-old puppy in a high-energy breed like this.
You're right, I can tell because when we take her for a walk, she still wants to go. It's never enough.
Yeah.
But when you take her here, she'll actually come to me and tell me, I'm done.
You're done.
She'll lay down and just lean on me. Go home, I'm ready.
And then what's she like when you get her home?
So peaceful. Just so relaxed.
Always remember that. A tired dog is a good dog. Always. Always. So tire, the more the better. You're going to drop way before she does. So any more than 0 is good. The more the better. And as you can see, she's having a ball. Now we're headed to Rover Ranch and Spa, doggy daycare and boarding facility. Hey Liz, how you doing?
Hey Fern, how are you?
How are things over at Rover?
Things are great.
Yeah, doggies are behaving?
Dogs are behaving.
The day I decided to become a dog trainer, I came right in here, I sat at this desk, talked to Liz, I said, give me a job. And she put me back there with the dogs, and that's where I learned about dog behavior. The dogs taught me how to be a good leader, a stable leader. And what better place to talk about leadership than right here. So I'm going to be doing a seminar here in a little while for a small group of people. Why don't you tag along and let's learn all there is about leadership. All behavior problems are just a matter of us teaching our dogs the proper way to behave, living in this very human world. And it's up to us to do that, and we need to be able to communicate it properly in a way that they can understand. So the two general things, whenever I get called in to do a session with any kind of a behavioral issue with a dog, the two things that are always part of my treatment plan is exercise and leadership. No matter what the problem is, those are always part of my solution. And they are the two biggest things that you can do to greatly affect the behavior of your dog. So I'm just going to talk about those two really briefly. First, let's talk about leadership. The dog society is set up in a pack. And the pack society is very structured. And everybody has a very publicly known rank, the alpha dog all the way down to the omega dog on the bottom. And everybody knows once they know where they stand, they're good. The dog right here will listen to everyone above him, but no one underneath him unless he really wants to, unless it's in his best interest. So the guy at the bottom really is not going to give orders to anybody. He does not have preference over any of the resources unless another dog wants to offer it to him. But everyone is integral to the survival of the pack. It's very important that we remember that dogs are pack animals, and it's kind of like a family. So once they enter your world, in your family, they're entering your pack. And it's important that we provide the leadership to our dogs that they need, and they need it. The leadership position for a dog is not the best because it's kind of stressful. The top dog has to worry about providing for the pack, the well-being for the pack, protecting the pack. Everything is kind of on that dog's shoulders. Very few dogs are qualified for that position. If they feel that there's a lack of leadership within your pack, he's got no choice. He's got to take it because someone has to lead. There must be a leader. So if he feels that there's a little bit of a lack of leadership, he's got to step it up. That he needs to. And if he does, why would he listen to what you guys want to have him do if he's the leader? And leadership sometimes is a term that gets thrown around a lot, and I think very few people really understand it. Let's talk what leadership really is. Some people think leadership is this negative, they think of like a drill sergeant, because I do compare the leadership in a dog pack kind of to the U.S. military, where everyone has a very publicly known rank, and it's set up for survival, just like a dog pack. So a lot of people just picture this drill sergeant yelling, "Mom, I'm in trouble right now." But it's really not like that. It's not mean. Leadership is not negative. It's just a fact of canine life.